Evening and welcome to Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Good evening. My name is Sunto Titilayo Ajama. Thank you for joining me this evening, Thursday, the 28th of July, 2022. How are you? How are you this evening? I hope your day has been lovely. I welcome you to Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Here on Adult Conversations, you give all the advice by contributing on the subject matter without judging. Adult Conversations on Women Radio currently runs every Monday through Thursday between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. We do this because we are here to break the culture of silence. So if you have a story that you want us to bring to the family of Adult Conversations, however old, however new, however pressing, however saddening, please send in your story. Send in your story. We would love to hear from you. Send in your story to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. So you just remember to put your name and contact number, and of course remember to put your story. Yes, put your name, contact number, and add your story on there, and your story will be profiled, hopefully. All right, tonight on Adult Conversations, my name is Hilda. My husband and I have been married for 5 years with 2 daughters, and we're a happy family. My husband traveled out of the country for work all through last year, and recently he returned. Everything is fine as it was before, but I also know that we were happy the way we were before. And the truth of the matter is now things are not so much that way. So Hilda goes on to say, everything is fine, but I have noticed some changes in the way he looks at me, like I'm not enough anymore. He doesn't compliment me anymore, and he does not get aroused when we're alone. He used to touch me a lot, but he doesn't touch me anymore, and now makes snide remarks about my size, and by the way, she's a size 12. She says, I'm concerned that he cheated on me over there and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash, so please advise me. All right, this is the story from Hilda tonight. Hilda is saying she and her husband have been married for 5 years with 2 children, 2 daughters, and they're a happy family. He traveled out of the country because of work last year, and he was there all through last year. Now, he recently returned, and, Hilda has noticed some changes in the way that he looks at her, with some disgust or something, and then she's not glad about the fact that he doesn't give her any money anymore, and it's just different between them at the moment. It's different between them. She says he used to touch me a lot, but he doesn't anymore, and now makes snide remarks about my size. I'm concerned that he cheated on me over there and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want a scene. I don't want my marriage to crash. Please advise me. And this is why we're here every single weekday, Monday to Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. This is why we're here. We will try to resolve this, because this is a major issue. In line with the story, she's saying that he must have cheated when he traveled out of the country, because she's now feeling more insecure, and that's because he's not being open with her. He's not complimenting her. He doesn't touch her. So it's making her feel unwanted. So she says, I don't want my marriage to crash. So what exactly are your thoughts tonight? I'm so interested in finding out. What are your thoughts tonight on this story? Hilda is basically saying, I'm concerned that my husband cheated on me in the UK and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash. Advise me, please. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send in your text and WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. Please, when you call, remember to turn off the volume of your radio. Turn it down or turn it off completely so that we can actually hear you. Please, thank you so much. Also, if you want to join the group chat, well, that's who can do it for you. I can do it for you. Just send me your name and contact details. Send me your name and contact details. Your name, location, the person you're going with, the person you're going to meet, and just basically, I'm sorry, that was definitely on a lighter note. I'm talking basically about just send in your name and contact number so that you can be added onto the group by the producer. That's what I meant. Simple and short. Yes, I'm going to quickly take this message and then I go back to the phone. Or let me take this phone call first. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, Spencer. Good evening.
Good evening. Am I speaking with Young?
Yes, this is Young from Ikorodu.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm all right. Thank you so much.
How was the day?
My day has gone very well. Thank you.
Good. What I want to advise from the angle that he's comparing her with he's complaining about her size. Talking about her size, let's first call your man, sit him down, tell him your position since he returned from the UK. Everything, the changes you have observed that since he returned from UK, and ask him this question: am I still good to be a wife to you? Do you still need me for a wife? If not, tell me the fact, what you think about me. And if you do, still let me know.
All right.
You understand me?
Absolutely.
You understand me?
I'm following your train of thought.
As a conversation, just sit him down early morning. Say, am I still good to be your wife? If you say why ask him, you tell him one by one your observations since he returned from
Okay.
and he's plain about your size. Then on that side, she can get she can work on her body. Go
Okay.
to gym, start taking exercise and things like that. Of course, there are men that get irritated about the size of their wife and things like that, and women also over their husband. So what happens about that? You just the normal thing. Do exercise, reduce your weight, and get back to your normal shape. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That is on that side. Then there must have to be a conversation. When you call somebody very early, since he has not said anything by himself to you except the complaint that you are getting bigger and things like that, then sit him down. Tell him, I might feel good to be your wife. And the man will surely say something. He will tell you his mind. And whatever he says determines what you do and how you go about your marriage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Young. Thank you for calling. Always insightful, always insightful. This story tonight is actually one that started out very normally, simple, easy breezy, until we got to the part where there were challenges that we met in the course of the story. It's imperative to understand that this thing that we call love, sometimes it does not apply to every single person. And sometimes life happens. But when life happens, what do you do? When life happens, what do you do? So this is kind of the situation that Hilda is in now. Life has basically happened to her. She doesn't know what to do. When I say life has happened, it means the fact that her husband traveled abroad in order to create a better life for them, to give them something good for himself and all of that. So now that they are supposed to be enjoying that, it now kind of feels like, he's going to be gallivanting and spending his money all about and all of that. So, but that's just me saying, there's a high chance that is actually not the case. So, what do you think, though? What do you think? I want to know what you think. So, her husband and she and her husband have been married for 5 years. They have 3 children, and he traveled out of the country for work last year, literally all through last year, and only recently returned. Now, according to her, she said everything is fine, but I've noticed some changes in the way he looks at me. like I'm not enough anymore. He doesn't compliment me anymore and does not get aroused when we're alone. He used to touch me a lot, but he doesn't anymore. And now makes snide remarks about my size. I'm concerned that he cheated on me sitting over there and is comparing to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash. Advise me, please. Advise me, please. That is what the message says. All right. Let's take this call. Okay, please call me back. Call me back if you can. This is actually a very one kind story today. One kind. The husband went abroad for a year. She was hoping that he'll come back and their life will be different. Everything will go back to normal. But now they're still encountering challenges. So it's not just easy to close your eyes to things like that within your marriage. So this is the context by which we're discussing this today. We're basically talking about all these different ways that you can use to, how do I put this? All these different ways that you can use to know. I was going to say that you can use to know when you're overweight, because that's actually what Hilda's husband is complaining about. But yes, that's in a lighter note. This is basically to give you a platform to break the culture of silence. Share your story, call us, let us know what's going on with you. And if you need advice, we'll bring it to the family of adult conversations as always. This is 17 minutes past 6 on Women Radio 91.7, and this is still Adult Conversations.
I love all the music they play. It's the bomb, baby. Bringing it to you live.
Women Radio 91.7.
They keep wondering, say I'm unstoppable, how I'm unstoppable. Some try to slow me down, but I'm undraggable. Yes, I'm undraggable. Every expectation on the beat, that's the heat. My success be between. I'm on the way for the cross. Especially no more than you told you. I'm the success one. But today, no Wi-Fi network.
Take our free unlimited browsing. This one in my door. For the moment that I'm we are the network. We are the network. Send us data. No more wahala. No more data. So we go on
Get and stay connected to the Wi-Fi network for unlimited internet experience that keeps you one step ahead in all your browsing needs. Spectranet, the Wi-Fi network.
Now, wow, you just can't stop stroking your baby's body. Oh, my dear, can't you see my baby's skin? Remember he had nappy and heat rashes? But ever since I discovered Baby Tributan, his skin has become as smooth as velvet. No more nappy or heat rash. Really? I remember. Tell me more about this Baby Tributan. Baby Tributan is formulated for baby's tender skin to provide effective action against nappy and heat rashes. Use Baby Tributan today and discover the secret of velvety baby skin.
Tributan, a product of Fixin Healthcare PLC, contains clotrimazole and Istamol. Always read product leaflet.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
Agbára Olúwa dé, ògo Olúwa tàn. Èyí ni láti pe gbogbo ènìyàn sí ìsọjí ọlọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta tí Agbára Olúwa Ministry gbé kalẹ̀ láti pàṣẹ ẹni Ọlọ́run fẹ́ràn jùlọ Evangelist Bọ́lájí Akíntọ́lá aka ọmọ Ṣọ́fà. Ìsọjí agbára lóṣooṣù yìí yóò máa wáyé ní Thursday, Friday àti Saturday kejì nínú oṣù. Address láti bá Olúwa pàdé ní Odúnfọlájú Street opposite Ìbàfò Clinic, Ìbàfò, Ògùn State. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wa ní 07064897062. 09096304541.
Here is a list of excuses that will no longer be accepted.
I beg, give me your hotspot. I want my data, but this one too much.
Please, could you put your Wi-Fi on? I'm out of data and the recharge card seller has closed.
Oh, I would have recharged though, but I can't find my wallet.
Please, I've got cramps and I can't get up. Can you share your hotspot?
Don't know where my internet token is, and I need to quickly buy data. Please, could you share your hotspot till I find it?
Hey, Jumbo, I said buy data, but that recharge card seller never ever get change. How good you? Now there's really no excuse to ever be out of data with Glow Borrow Me Data. Dial *321# to borrow data now and pay later. I beg, I just share your hotspot. This way bad. Make thunder no go fireman. Largest data network, Glow, masters of data.
Join us 10 a.m. every Saturday on Gen Z's Know Better on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Gen Z's Know Better, where youth discuss issues across all areas of life. Some call us the phone generation, some call us the Sarah Soka generation, and yes, we are unapologetically Gen Z's. Though easily misunderstood, we have strong opinions on issues in the society, a force to reckon with. We are Gen Zs. Join us 10 a.m. every Saturday on Gen Z's Know Better on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
The big question.
In fact, it's crazy more. We never had a snake and then whether Saturn and swallow money.
Why?
Everything has been crazy.
Conversational, controversial, and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays to Fridays, 12:05 p.m.
On your Women Radio WFM 91.7.
Almana Hope Foundation, in partnership with Women Radio 91.7, brings you A Widow's Window, where issues affecting widows in our society are discussed. Join Hope Democracy Saturdays, 6 p.m. on WFM 91.7. A Widow's Window, giving widows a voice.
This is WFM 91.7.
This is still Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Tonight we're profiling the story of Hilda. Hilda says she and her husband have been married for 5 years. They share 2 children and they're a very happy family. Now, last year, that's 1 year ago now, Hilda's husband had to travel abroad for work. So his company, he had to go to work basically abroad. So they paid for everything. He went to work and he returned. She said he recently returned. Now that he has returned, everything is different according to her. Or everything is fine, but I've noticed some changes in the way he looks at me, like I'm not enough anymore. He doesn't compliment me anymore and does not get aroused when we're alone. He used to touch me a lot, but doesn't anymore. And now he makes snide remarks about my size, and I'm a size 12. That's what she says. I'm concerned that he cheated on me over there and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash. Advise me, please. And that's the story tonight. This is the story from Hilda. I just read it as she sent it. Now, does this really mean that he cheated? Does this really mean that, there was something that developed in that 1 year with another woman when he was there? Could it just be that, oh, because he's just coming back home after a year, he's trying to readjust, he's trying to, he's trying to familiarize himself with the surroundings, he's trying to remember things because it's been a year. So he's still trying to settle in. He's still trying to settle in. Could that be the problem? I mean, she's saying he hasn't touched me. He used to touch me a lot, but now he doesn't anymore. He doesn't compliment her. And now she's saying maybe he actually met someone there. Maybe he met someone there. So I don't even know about that. I don't know if it's true. I don't know anything. But the truth of the matter is, Hilda is definitely not happy with this. She says, I'm concerned that he cheated on me and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash, so please advise me. She doesn't want her marriage to crash, but she needs your advice tonight. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. You can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. All right. So this is another message coming in from Gwenga from Alagbole. Gwenga says, good evening, Sumto. Trust your day has been splendid. You just have to be calm. Are you sure there's nothing bothering you? Are you sure there's nothing bothering you? Because when men are bothered about stuff, they tend to act indifferently. Since he said he makes unpleasant remarks about your body mass, then it's obvious he's making a contrast between you and the ladies in the UK. When you left size 12 before he left, were you size 12? Yes, that's the question. Were you size 12 before he left for the UK, or you gained weight after his departure? That's a good question. Kindly indicate what the answer is. Were you size 12 before he traveled out, or did you gain weight after he traveled out? So let's know about that. And Benga says, however, if you have been the same size as you are now, still work on your weight, register in a gym and work out regularly. At the same time, pray for God to touch his heart and God will help you. And that's coming from Benga from Alagbole. All right. Yes, that's the first message. To be honest, it baffles me sometimes, the fact that people still put themselves through this. It's really saddening when you think about it. All right, this is another one. My name is Ogaga from Arepo. My advice to her is to put him into orientation and invite God to turn around the situation, because it is an obvious marriage. It is obvious that it's under her marriage. No, because it is obvious that her marriage is under attack by husband snatchers. Okay, her marriage is being attacked by husband snatchers. All right. Well, that's an interesting point of view there. That's a very interesting point of view. But it really is not. It really is not. This is just somebody saying that I'm a size 12. Why is he now looking at me like I'm not enough, that I'm too much for him now, that I've added weight, so he doesn't want anything to do with me. So different things will be going through her mind. So many different things will be going through her mind. And it will be hard for her to put it all together and make it coherent and really understand what's going on. But what are your thoughts tonight? What are your thoughts? Do you think that Hilda's husband really cheated when he went abroad? Or do you think he didn't really cheat, but because he saw a lot of beautiful women, he was comparing them to his wife, or comparing his wife to them? So that's obviously not the best way to go when it comes to certain things. And Hilda is now feeling conscious. She's feeling unhappy. She's feeling like now her husband doesn't even rate her. You know, she said he doesn't get aroused when we're alone in the room. Like, even do now, you say you don't want to do because you know they're interested. It might feel like a really big deal. It might feel like a really big deal, but it's important that the woman feel loved. It's important that she feel loved. It is so important. In fact, it's important that both of them, try and figure things out. What's really going on? Is he? I'm going to quote specifically what he's complaining about. Okay, so he's not actually complaining about anything, but she said she has noticed some changes in the way he looked at her. Like she's not enough anymore. He doesn't compliment her anymore. He doesn't get aroused when they're alone. Hilda is saying he used to touch me a lot, but doesn't anymore, and now makes snide remarks about my size, which is a size 12. I'm concerned that he cheated on me over there and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash. Advise me, please. That's it. So this is a forum for advice. You can actually call in and give your advice to Hilda tonight. Let her know how you feel concerning this story, and of course leave your advice for her so that going forward she will be able to know what decisions to take and all of that. There's just definitely something about when people talk out loud about what they're thinking in their hearts. So this person didn't say it. Hilda's husband didn't say the thing that he was thinking. But Hilda could feel that something has changed. She could feel it that something has changed, but she couldn't say exactly what it was. She couldn't say. So sometimes these things happen. But in all honesty, this person is your husband. Yes, he has been away for work for up to 1 year now, but still your husband. So what is the reason why her husband should not appreciate her? Is there any reason for that? Is there any? Well, this is still Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7.
We play Nigerian songs every time, all the time. WFM 91.7.
Guy, if I tell you all this plenty airtime and data, who are they take flex? Now dash glow dash me, you could believe.
Dash get for this kind of economy. I beg you.
Dead now. As I buy my glow sim like this, spirit, I first collect 1,000 naira welcome bonus. Sarah. As I come recharge, mom, you knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Join.
You mean 1,000 naira welcome bonus?
Yes.
Plus 10 times airtime bonus.
Yes.
Plus double data again?
Yes.
Always universe now.
The glow break the universe now. You want try?
Oh, no wonder boys you flex anyhow on top for 247 non-stop. I don't come.
My people, not let grass grow under your Lego. Go get your glow sim today. Dial *777# to buy and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus plus up to double data. Also, get free 20,000 naira bonus when you link your NIN to your glow line. Offer day for both new and existing subscribers there. Unlimited.
At ShopRite, you'll find everything you need and more. Products like 12 bottles of Pepsi, Team or Marina 500 ml drinks at 1,599 naira 99 kobo, and Climax 330 ml energy drink at 259 naira 99 kobo. Prices valid till August 7th, 2022. ShopRite, low prices you can trust always.
My name is Shegun, and I'm the village man. All of you now we like to blame us village people because we have business, you know they do well. Say we not think say we don't get our own story. I beg you, we village people don't get your time off. Check yourself first.
Village people are the reason your business isn't growing. Introducing MoneyPoint, a business bank that helps you realize your business dreams with easy access to quick loans, ease of payment collections, and general business management tools. Visit www.moneypoint.com and let's help you power your business dreams. MoneyPoint, powering dreams.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
Radio Doctor, your free phone-in health consultation program. Every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. brings you health and wellness.
If you're stressed out either at home or at work, or you're having a stressful relationship between either your girlfriend, your fiancé, or your wife, you can have erectile dysfunction.
Call in to get free consultation and health and wellness on 07000 917 917 and 090 256 25455. You can send in questions, cases, and related contributions conversations on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM917. Text and WhatsApp on 070-317-56537. You can listen live online at www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's first free consultation radio health program on WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
I feel that there's some sort of lack of professionalism in this because we're talking about 100 lives. Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind. How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for other means. Because we should arrest Nigeria. It's Panorama.
Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 5 a.m.
WFM 91.7 will bring you ladies from across Nigeria's political zones, dissecting, discussing, and disagreeing on topical issues of the day. You too can join the conversation by tweeting us at WFM 917 with the hashtag Panorama. WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
(22:07) on Women Radio 91.7, and we're still discussing the story of Hilda. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama, and if you're just tuning in, you're welcome to Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Tonight on Adult Conversations, this is Hilda's story. This is the story of Hilda. Hilda says she and her husband have been married for 5 years. They have 2 children and they're a happy family. Her husband had to travel out of the country because of work recently, and he was there all through last year. Now she says everything's fine, but I've noticed some changes in the way he looks at me, like I'm not enough anymore. He doesn't compliment me and does not get aroused when we're done. He used to touch me a lot, but he doesn't do that anymore, and now makes snide remarks about my size 12. Hilda goes on to say, I'm concerned that he cheated on me over there and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash. Advise me, please. So, how best is this advice supposed to come now? How best? I'll leave that to you to respond. So she's thinking, my husband is acting a bit differently than how he used to act before he traveled. He used to compliment me. He used to want to do funny, goofy things with me. And he used to touch me. He used to touch me a lot when we're together. He used to get aroused when we're naked, when we're together. But now she's saying that's not really the case anymore. And now she's saying he makes snide remarks about her size. And if you know sizing, I think this is UK sizing, then you would know that size 12 is not massive. It's not so massive. Yes, it's a bit on the chubby end, but it's not super massive. She's not wearing a size 20 or a size 16. She's wearing a size 12. That is still relatively, it's just chubby. People who are just chubby. And that's it. So why do you think, as a man now, if this were you, what would be the reason that you might be doing this to your woman when you get back home after not being home for 1 full year? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Blessing calling from Ibafo.
Hello, Blessing. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
Okay. And what I want to tell her is, first of all, she needs to talk to her husband about what is going on. Like, babe, I don't know what is going on. Since when you go back from your traveling, you don't play with me like before anymore. I just want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So she needs to work on her body. Because sometimes if you're on Instagram or Facebook and you're looking at these abroad girls, yourself you'll be like, oh my goodness, please, I wish to be like this. So you need to work on your time. 1 year is a bit long. So maybe our husband is trying to mingle with Nigeria again, because African weather is different from UK weather. So try to talk to him, but don't talk to him in the afternoon when everywhere is crowded. No, he won't understand. In the midnight, maybe just wake him up. Honey, please, I want to discuss something with you. Just say one word after the other. Explain. Don't rush. One word after the other. And I'm sure that the man will understand. Even if you didn't even say what you are not even telling him the main point that you are talking about, for the man will understand that, okay, this is what my wife is saying. That's my advice to her.
Okay. Thank you very much, Blessing. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Okay. So Blessing is saying, well, first, you might need to just calm down. You might need to just relax. You might need to just take it easy. So talk to him. She says talk to him. Maybe because he's just coming back. He's trying to settle in. The weather is doing what it's doing. Food is doing what it's doing. Everything is just a bit different now for him, having stayed outside the country for 1 year. So she's saying, talk to him. Don't talk to him in the afternoon where everywhere is bright, or talk to him at night. Give him good food. Let him calm down. Then talk to him and ask him what's going on. And Blessing says you might also need to know that you need to work on your body. He might not say it out loud, but it might be something that he basically needs right now. He might need you to work on your body so that you can look better for him and for yourself, as a matter of fact. I always don't like the thought of, we're working on our bodies because we want to look good for the men. Well, that's true too. But to a large extent, for you to look good for the men, you have to look good for yourself first. So Blessing is saying, talk to him about it. Let him understand how you really feel. And then another important point is that you will need to work on your body. So what are your thoughts tonight? And why do you think he's acting this way? Why do you think Hilda's husband is acting this way? Somebody who used to be all lovey-dovey, and they travel, they stay there for a year, and it's like, okay, he's back now. You've missed this man. You've probably only been doing video calls. And now the man is right there in front of you, and he's probably looking way better than he has ever looked, because people that travel abroad, their skin always, for some reason, just always brightens, and they're all looking so stylish and all. So you're looking at your man, and he looks better than he has literally ever looked in all of his life. But he's not responsive. And if you're the kind of person that does not necessarily initiate anything, you don't initiate dates, you don't initiate sex, you don't initiate anything. And now you're waiting for him to make that move, to show you too that, baby, I missed you. But he's not doing that. He's not okay with that. He's not acting in that direction at all. She clearly said that he looks at her like she's not enough. He looks at her like there's something missing, that, oh, you're good, but you can be better. He looks at her like he's a bit repulsed by, everything. And she's not happy with that look, with that expression. She's not happy with it. So what are your thoughts tonight? What do you think she should do? What do you think the best approach of this story is? What do you think the best approach is? So We can't have it all. That's the truth of the matter. But we can always make the best of what we have. We can always make the best of what we have. So why is this time that is really good for them now? Why are they not making the best of it? Why is Hilda's husband not making the best of the time that he has now? Why is he not excited about it and all of that? And to a large extent, it's possibly because maybe he has seen some other UK girls. It's possible. It's actually possible. The guy, if you don't see some other babes, they set like this. All them slim, thick, some really slim people, long legs, long arms, colored eyes, all them every. So the guy I don't see. And say, now this kind of thing they like. Nah, this kind of thing they like. He can't come back house. Can't they see him, babe, we don't change or something, or that looks a certain way. According to the story, she used to be a size 12 before he traveled out of the country. And now she's still a size 12. But maybe her body shape has changed a little bit. And he's not being open to understanding that. He's just not being open to understanding that. So it is a bit difficult to be able to say, oh, this was going on, this was going on, this going on, this was going on. Because the truth of the matter is Hilda enjoys her marriage. She's been looking forward to her husband coming back. Now he's back and she misses him. So imagine if somebody looks like they don't want you. How do you even begin to navigate that? How do you even begin to enjoy yourself despite the fact that they're not into what you're into? So what's the solution here? What are your thoughts tonight? What is the solution for Hilda? Is there a solution? Is there one? Is there a solution? What do you think about this? She's saying he doesn't compliment her anymore. And this is after 5 years and 3 children. Now, chances are that all them UK girls where they carry up and down, they never marry. They never marry. So if they never marry, of course, now their body will still stay young. Everything go they dry. Everything go water for everywhere. But she has had 3 children. 2 children, okay. Hilda has had 2 children. So it's not easy to just snap your body back in that state. It takes a process. It takes a long time. So it's not as easy. Don't you think that he should be patient with her for a little bit more? Don't you think they should talk to each other about that and then about this as well? Because sometimes it's just a no-go area. So has 12 and you're getting upset? How? Why? But then again, maybe he's now being used to a certain type of people. A certain type of people. Maybe that's why he's not putting it in anybody's face or anything. So, well, I don't really know how any other person in Hilda's shoes would feel now. But I do know that if I were the one in those shoes, my husband just got back after a year, rather. Her husband just got back after a year of work, school, everything put together. And now he's back. But he's not acting like a husband anymore. He's not acting like the husband that left anymore. Everything is kind of different. He's not complimenting her like he used to before. He's not talking about how she looks, how she sounds. It's just, it's just so simple and all of that. So maybe she doesn't like that. She can't really understand what's going on. If this is a problem, is this not something that her husband should have communicated to her? Is this not something that he should have communicated to her to let her know that, oh, this is what's going on right now, and I might not be able to speak on this subject? So it takes you back to the days of I'm trying to remember that. It takes you back to the days of if you've seen Michael Jackson's Thriller video, everybody started out looking so simple, so nice and all, and then he started out looking that way. Yes, everybody else was ghosts and skeletons, but he started out looking nice, and then somehow they got to that burial area and everything and then ghost, skeleton, all of that. I'm talking about the difference from the way that he must have seen her previously and how he's looking at her now. So maybe now he doesn't look at her as attractive as she used to be in his eyes. because now he has possibly seen other women that look maybe a lot better, and he's like, okay, maybe I like this spec now. Maybe this is my spec now. Now that she's size 12, his spec is not more, he's not more chubby, he's not more thick. He now possibly likes maybe very slim. So maybe he would love for her to lose some weight and get to maybe like a size 8 or like a size 10 or so. I'm a bit confused about the man dynamic of this, because sometimes you never know what men like. You just never really know. So men, I need you to call in tonight. Let's know exactly what the dynamic or what the logic behind Hilda's husband's actions right now. What could this be about? What could this really be about? Is this just a situation of there's something else? He's trying to settle back into the country and he's just not in that headspace of love and, PDA and everything. He's just not in that headspace. Or is this something else? Is it that he's attracted to a different body type now? That's why he doesn't think she is attractive anymore. So I want to know. I don't want to do the talking tonight. I want you to do the talking. So go ahead and call me. Let me know what your thoughts are on the story. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. What are your thoughts tonight concerning this story? And what do you think? How do you think that Hilda should handle this? How do you think she should handle the situation, given that it's her that is on the receiving end of this cold shoulder by her husband? Hello, good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you for calling. May I know your name, please? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Tokwe. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Okay, thank you, Tokwe. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's a very sorry situation, but it sounds as if there's a problem, and to me, there's no problem at all.
Okay.
Two things. First is that this kind of situation, before husband and wife could make the decision that one will travel out and stay here, a lot of things are involved. Okay?
Yes.
A lot of things are involved to the extent that they have to understand themselves, ignore certain things, and not talk towards certain direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, while the husband was there, the wife will now be asking, did you talk to any lady? Did you see any lady? Have you made love? Have you had sex within these 6 months, 5 months, or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Such discussion will not help the marriage. So the best thing is to take mind and eyes off issues like that.
Okay.
So which I'm sure was what they did. Now the guy is back.
Mm-hmm.
The lady, first is that complex will set in. You will be shocked that to the guy, he has not seen anything different. The wife has not changed.
Okay.
To him, the fact that he's back, a lot of things in his head, he needs to settle down, he needs to set up a business, he needs to get something working now. Maybe the abroad that he went didn't work out for him, now he's back, he has to find something new. So he has a lot of things he's thinking about. While she, on her own part, she's being sensual and emotional. It cannot work. Not that it cannot work. They are thinking differently. Their thought is different.
Okay. So what do you think is the solution to this now?
My dear, the solution is for the woman to calm down. Nothing is wrong with the man. He doesn't have any issues with her. Even when he says that he doesn't have any issues with her. If he has issues with her, coming back, he would have gone somewhere else. But for him to come back to her, she is still his wife. And she should give him that understanding and space to come back and absorb fully. When I say come, because eventually what women do is that they create a situation, and that situation they start working it out. And if they are not careful, that situation will play out in real life. She will eventually push the guy away.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
You don't have my time. And you did this. The guy will be like, your time, how? I'm busy. I need to get something working. And so, is that a lot of things in the guy's head.
But don't you think that if he tells her that this is where his mind is at, don't you think that she would be understanding of it? Don't you think so?
Let me tell you, 2 things. If he tells her, I always say 2 things. If he tells her, she will never understand.
No? Why would you say that?
No,
Why?
I'm telling you, my dear.
No, you can't say never now.
When I say she will never understand that, I mean that, okay, the fact that he now expresses his condition to her, what the woman would do, instead of understanding, is now trying to get him out of that situation. Okay, even at that does not mean you should not look at me. Now, that does not mean I should not look at me. I'm those days when I used to put on this dress, you jump at me, but now you don't do that anymore. A lot of things. And now she will say, okay, now start jumping at me. Okay, now that you know that I want you to be jumping at me. So when women come up with things like that, not that they are saying it to understand the situation, they are saying it for the man to condescend to what they want emotionally.
Okay, number one, you can't generalize. You can't generalize because not every woman will act that way. Not every woman will act that way. Number 2.
So as a woman, you understand your man that okay, your man does not have your time. Let me give him space. Let him be his own. You have that understanding.
I would have that understanding. Now, the truth of the matter is, I would have that understanding, but because I also need my own needs to be met as well, we would have to come to a compromise. I mean, how long would this take? What do you need? What do you need for this to what do you need to be settled? So that's what I'm saying. Oh no. There's obviously a need that's not being met. There's obviously a need that's not being met. If not, we would not even be having this conversation at all.
It is the extra.
It's not really an extra. He's not doing anything for her right now. He's not doing anything for her right now. He's just at home and trying to settle in, basically. She's not feeling wanted. She's not feeling appreciated. She's not even feeling like she's visible at this moment. So it's only probably when he needs something that he's like, oh, my wife, babe, help me with this, help me with that. But she's not feeling like a woman, like the woman he left at home.
Let me give you an instance of insensitivity. I'm sorry to use that word.
Okay.
Do you think it is normal for a man to travel out in search of greener pasture and he comes back after a year? Who does that?
He didn't travel. He traveled from work. Like his work sent him out of the country. So it's the work that is working in Nigeria that traveled, or how did they say that? That took him out of the country. So he's coming back to Nigeria to come back to work for the same company that told him to travel abroad.
So they're deploying it to Nigeria.
He's still, yes. So he's back in Nigeria and they're trying to settle things. Oh, is he going back? Is he not going back? Is he going to be heading a branch here in Nigeria? So all those conversations are still going on. So that's why I was saying, okay, maybe he's trying to settle in. Maybe he doesn't really know what he's doing yet and all of that. Maybe that's what is occupying his mind. So I think the situation you're painting is that maybe he went to school or maybe he went to set for a good life. And maybe he now came back and then he's sad, he's not feeling good. But that's not the situation that took him out of the country. Now you can see why it's not such a bad situation. So I'm wondering what could be responsible for this.
Okay. In this case, then what she has to do is that she has to play the initiator of the emotional relationship. Most times women expect guys to initiate. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
She went to dress in a way expecting that the guy will appeal to her the way he used to. Now he's not doing that. She will walk up to him, move up to him and say, hello there, oh yeah, come on there.
Okay, so she has to be the one initiating things now.
Initiating practice for the period to get him back.
Of course.
This guy's the thing.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, understood.
Thank
you very much. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Topa. Thank you for calling.
All right.
So Topa is basically saying that in this particular situation now, having understood the work dynamic, which I clarified with him, he's basically saying, well, Hilda, maybe you should not wait for him to be the one coming to you. Maybe you shouldn't just sit back and just hope that, oh, okay, he'll just find his way back to me. He'll just throw me a compliment here and there. He'll do this, he'll do that like he used to. Maybe now his mind is still in a lot of places. Maybe now things are not very settled. So he's trying to just, bide his time. He's taking each day as it comes. But you also need your needs to be met. So Topa is basically saying, well, at this point, you're going to have to be the initiator. You're the one that's going to have to, wear something sexy, wear something nice, talk to him. It doesn't have to be anything too risque from the very beginning. You can ease him into that space. You also give him a compliment. You also make him feel good. Let him see you as the woman that you are, as the woman you've always been. I mean, before he came back, I believe that there's been a lot of conversations about when you come back. So now he's back, and what's the problem? So kick off that gloom and doom. Topa is saying, be the initiator. Talk to him, whine him, play around with him. Let him feel comfortable enough to be back in that space where he can play with you, where he can feel good around you, and then you never know what could come next. So it might not really be as big as a challenge as you're making it out to be, or as you think it is. That's what Topa is basically saying. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. Go ahead and call that number and tell me what your thoughts about this story are tonight. In case you're just tuning in, this is Women Radio 91.7, and this is Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm calling from Bega. My name is Mike.
Hello, Mike. Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah, I don't normally call. I mean, I'm not a frequent caller on different radio station, but I mean, the topic this evening is quite funny to me because I try to be analytical, when we're looking at situation rather than being sentimental or, coming into conclusion.
Okay.
Looking at the situation that has been discussed today for the lady, well, it's a pity because it doesn't make sense that she doesn't feel wanted or she's emotionally being drained. There's no level of excuse that you want to give for that. That's why I didn't totally agree with even some of the points of the previous caller. And then something related to the issue. I feel strongly that if the man has not been around for a long time, there should be some level of emotional build-up. I don't know if you get what I mean by that, right?
I think I do.
There should be some level of emotional build-up that by the time you guys see yourself, I mean, you can't wait to even remove all the clothes. You can't wait because it has been a long time and you have really missed each other. So if the husband should come around after being out of the country for a year, which is a long time,
absolutely,
for an alpha male or for a male that is fully mature to stay out, I mean, maybe from seeing the sexual partner for that long time, then two, three things are involved for me. First off, most likely this guy already has seen someone in the UK. So coming back to Nigeria, the guy is in the midst of missing the sexual partner that he or she has in the UK. And now maybe the sexual partner has some features that the wife does not have. So the wife is not looking attractive based on that.
Okay.
That is like the first scenario. I'm a man. And then I should talk from the perspective of a man.
Of course. What's the second one?
I don't see the reason why the woman is going to be the initiator in this. But anybody can initiate. There's no book where it's written that you should initiate, that should initiate. And if by the law of the husband has not been around for that long time, even the husband should be initiating, if not 3-4 times a day, at least for the first week, 1 week or 2 weeks, because I mean this guy should be full.
Exactly. I understand. So what's the second scenario? What's the second scenario you're thinking?
So that's for me the first scenario related to that. Second scenario is that probably maybe if there are unresolved issues, right? Maybe the wife is trying to now use sex to clear these issues. That may be an issue for the guy, and the guy will be like, no, we had this issue, we have not cleared it. Maybe they've not talked or something.
Okay.
So I think that could be the second scenario, because the lady was saying she's size 12, she's this. Forget about all of that. A guy that has missed you, if you like, turn to size 18. The guy wants to, first of all, be in bed with you first, because he has missed you, and he wants to fulfill his emotion and all of that.
Yes.
Right? So I think for me, we need to hit the issue on the head by saying that is probably the most likely situation that has happened. Uncleared issues that is causing some level of friction, or this guy is seeing someone. It's as simple as that. So the wife is not.
You said three. You said three scenarios. What's the third one?
Okay, I said 3 scenarios.
Yes.
Okay, so probably the third scenario may be probably since when the guy came back, maybe there are some changes in the woman that he noticed, but I would say that no matter the changes that have been around, unless maybe he noticed maybe the lady was already seeing someone before he came back, and he's not seeing someone, because it's possible the lady is the one seeing someone, the guy is not seeing someone.
Of course.
It's possible both parties are even seeing someone while both parties were away. And maybe the guy had some nudging or so something, and it's like, oh, what about this? You know,
okay, he wants to observe a bit more.
Yeah, probably he wants to observe a bit more, something like that. So I think those will actually be the situation where the advice for the lady is to just talk, because most of the time when we talk, at times we are able to talk about how we feel. If the guy is ready to talk at least, then you can let him talk that, come, you came back, I expect you should do this, but you are off, and then I don't know why you are off. Is it that I've offended you? What have I done? And if there is anything that the lady has really done, she can apologize. But if the guy is like, there is nothing, I just came back, forget whatever issue. Even if the guy wanted to go to grandpa's store but couldn't make it again, for the mere fact that you are back with your wife, come on, nobody does that.
Right.
Nobody does that.
Well, Mike, I actually like your three. I like your three scenarios. I think there's a lot of validity to either of all three. So there's a possibility that it could be any of those three things. So yes, thank you very much for calling. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So Mike is saying, Talkboy, I don't really agree with you. What I think is this. I think number one, maybe he had another sexual partner in the UK, and that's the person that he's been with in the 1 year that he's been away. So now that he's back in Nigeria, he's probably missing that sexual partner from the UK. So that's one. Two, he's thinking maybe he had some unresolved issues over the phone, maybe concerning the children, whatever the case is. And Hilda might be trying to use sex to just downplay those issues or to cover those issues. And her husband is probably like, look, let's address these things first before we start, getting to the bed and all of that. And then we'll forget that these are the things that we needed to address. So maybe that's case number two. Mike is saying number three, maybe, what was the third one again? He talked about, yes, maybe he's suspecting, maybe her husband is suspecting that Hilda is seeing somebody else. I honestly don't want to believe that, but the truth of the matter is it's a very, very valid possibility. 1 year, depending on how attached you are, how connected you are, how sexually active you are, and that sexual connection, being sexually active and having that sexual bond with someone, two different things. Because sometimes you'll be very sexually active, but you don't feel the same when you do with anybody else. So maybe those two factors are in some way making her husband feel like, oh, she's probably doing it with somebody else. He's probably doing it with somebody else. So Mike is saying maybe Hilda's husband is suspecting her of being with somebody else, maybe. So maybe these are the reasons, and he's just trying to observe, see how things play out for a little bit, put her in a little bit of heat and a little bit of suspense, and then see how things play out. Well, that would be some really serious, you need to play that long game out. But these are actually three very valid possibilities. These are things that could happen, but I don't know what the case is specifically. He's a man, so chances are that any of these scenarios could have played out. And Hilda is human as well, so any of these scenarios could have played out. But considering the fact that he's been away for a year, 1 full year, one would think that, he would be back and they'll be all over each other. But now that that's not happening, Hilda is saying he's not complimenting her, he's not touching her as much as he used to. Maybe not even sexual touching, maybe just the occasional pat, the occasional forehead kiss, the occasional hand around her waist, maybe those type things. Maybe he's not even doing that. And she's feeling like, but boy, kilo shele now, what is going on? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Obichuku. I'm in transit.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Hope your day went well.
Yes, it did. I wanted to contribute to the discussion.
Yes, please.
Okay. I agree more with what your last caller analyzed. So let me add to what he analyzed. I think the story that is up for discussion is something that should make people rethink. Rethink this whole arrangement of one partner is away from the other, either under the circumstances that you've explained, or one partner decides, I want to go for greener pastures. It's popular these days, no doubt, but one of the things I suspect is also at play is that either or both partners were not truly honest with themselves. And what I mean by that is at least one of them was not entirely okay with the arrangement. The arrangement was legit.
Of course.
Okay, the company is sending the husband, you've clarified that. Or maybe the wife was not 100% on board. And by that I mean maybe she would have preferred to come
along with him, right?
With him.
Okay.
Exactly. So maybe the guy looked at the finances. If the wife comes with me, I was hoping I could save X dollars. But if she comes with me, maybe I'll be spending Y. Now, if I have X dollars, the normal way men would think logically, if I have X dollars, when I come back, or if I decide to explore a new business venture while I'm away, it will take me further than if I try to do that with Y Naira.
Of course.
But what they're facing now is kind of what I would call the reality, which is that sometimes the monetary calculations that drive some of these decisions may not be what both partners need. Some people are not able to remain faithful with their spouse when they're away for long. So I think somebody between the two of them didn't have that real conversation with their partner. If those kind of things were discussed without rancor, without their friends keeping in their own opinions here and there, family and the rest, I mean, just the two people, because they're actually the most important in this discussion. If they had that kind of real open conversation, and then honestly, one who has the weakness told the other, then I think the computations would have changed. Both would have gone. The issue of, okay, what would the other spouse do while the other spouse is there, of course, will come up. But that's not entirely a lost cause. The other spouse can learn a new skill that is marketable.
Okay.
Now, some of the challenges we have here in Nigeria, power, for example, may not be an issue in the US or wherever the husband travels. So it becomes easier for that new skill that the other spouse has to learn or wants to learn, as the case may be. It becomes easier to learn it. And again, I said the skill is something marketable, which means they can start building either the knowledge, either the clientele, or even a total rework. Okay, when I come to Nigeria, a different market, from the market I learned this new skill from the US, how do I package it? So whatever training they're going could also incorporate those kind of issues. So when they come back in a year or so's time, the other spouse is ready to roll, ready to move. It's not bogged down by these little things that SMEs here would ordinarily struggle with before they hit the ground running.
Of course.
So this is a different route I think they could have taken. But good topic. Couples need to sit down and discuss this. Again, like I said, babe or guy, you know I'm weak in this area. Hold up. And then two people working out this kind of situation usually brings better results than one. So this is a learning point for her and then other listeners.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Obichukwu. Thank you very much for contributing. But I want to ask you something though. In line with this specific situation, this way that Hilda is currently feeling about how her husband has been treating her or how he has been acting of recent, what would be your simple advice to her? She should just play it by ear, see how it goes. She should be patient. What are your thoughts?
Well, for me, I like to have real conversations. I like to have honest conversations. I like to listen to the other person. I may not 100% agree, but at least at the minimum, I should be able to understand the other person's point of view. So I know women are not usually, most women are not usually wired that way because they bring a lot of sentiment while trying to do that. But I would advise her she can do away with the sentiments and just face the facts. Because ordinarily, when they were dating, I don't want to believe this was how he treated her. So definitely there is a problem. Yes, when courtship is very romantic, very energetic. So definitely there's a problem. So if I was her, I would try to leave my emotions aside and just go with the facts. When I say go with the facts, I wouldn't want to say that was what Paul said or Bola said or Femi or whoever. No. Go with the facts minus what people said, because sometimes people may mean well, but they don't have complete information. And then the person who hears the information they give will interpret it in diverse ways. So I wouldn't want to go that route. I want to go with what I feel, what I think, or what I found out. For example, maybe while he was at work, she checked his bags, saw a photo that looked,
evidence
compromising or something. So let us go with the facts. So that way we know what is what, and the distractions are at the minimum. That's what I will do. And then if the love is gone, I don't think the love cannot be rekindled. And the simple solution is to go back how they started. So there were probably things they used to do then that for now maybe life has taken over, is no longer seen as relevant. If they go back to those things, of course, they will find love again, that's for sure.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Is it just me or Obichukwu sounds like a romantic? If the love is gone, I don't think it cannot be rekindled. Well, that is true in a lot of ways. But it takes two to tango. So the two people have to be interested in actually making it work. Well, he basically says that anyhow things play out right now is just indicative of probably the effects of the fact that he traveled alone out of the country and they've not been in the same space for a really long time. And now different things are playing out in each individual's mind. And somebody probably wasn't really honest about how the person felt when she or he got to know that he was traveling out of the country, particularly with the emotional/sexual aspects of that marriage. So, but now that they're back, he's saying that now that the husband is back, he's advising Hilda to do away with this sentiment and have a simple, factual conversation with her husband. Sit him down, talk to him. She doesn't have to cry. She doesn't have to do any theatrics. Just be honest with him about how she feels and how it looks like he's acting since he's been back. So hopefully things can work out and they can be in a better place going forward. He's saying that if now that the year has elapsed and she doesn't feel the love or he doesn't feel the love anymore, he doesn't think that it cannot be rekindled. I needed to hear that a second time. Like, okay, did he say cannot or can? Yeah, he actually did say he doesn't think that it cannot be rekindled. So basically he's saying, go back to the things that you used to do when, things were sweet, when it was all rosy, when you were courting. Maybe you should go back to doing those things and then things would slowly, gradually return to normal between you. Again, I say it takes two to tango. So both people have to be interested in making it work. All right, this is a message coming in from Benga from Alagbole. Benga is adding that have they been having issues since he came back from the UK? Also, were they having any heated arguments while he was away? As this could put off the man. Nagging could also be a part of it. She should take her time to ask him questions and show him more love and nag less, as that could win back his heart. See, I feel a certain way about that word nagging. I really do feel a certain way about it. And that's because no woman just nags out of her mind for no good reason. Nobody likes to say one thing 150 billion times. Nobody really likes that. Be you a man, be you a woman. Nobody, take that from me. Nobody likes that. But when it feels like nothing is changing, that's when you feel the need to repeat your grievances and to emphasize them and to just highlight them and to make them into this really big deal that will make the other person super uncomfortable. So if I'm nagging, then you're obviously not doing something right. We're not coming to an agreement on something. So how about we come to that agreement? How about we come to that compromise? How about we meet somewhere halfway and sort this thing out? If you're the one that needs to change something, if you love me, why not change it? I mean, honestly, there's no need for all this unnecessary back and forth. But Gwenga is basically saying that if she's to nag, if she's been having some heated arguments with him, they should work on those things because that could be what is putting him off. And I believe this was Mike who said maybe they have unresolved issues. So this might be a little bit of that as well. This is Gloria from Alimosho. Gloria is saying she should communicate with her husband to know what's in his mind. Very good advice, Gloria. Thank you very much. Just like Obichukwu, who says, conversations, real conversations are my thing. They're my thing as well. And I believe they should be the thing of every couple. It's important that you have these open and honest conversations. Sometimes it's hard, believe me. Sometimes you don't want to be talked to. You don't want to be talked to at all. You just want to be in your own headspace. You just want to wallow in your misery. Sometimes you want to do that. But there's this other person who is in your life as well. And in this case, they have children. They have 2 children as well. So you cannot just, stay in your own space and be in your own world and just act a certain way. Things don't really work like that. So you really need to speak about it. This is Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7. We're still talking about Hilda's story tonight on Adult Conversations. What are your thoughts? I want to hear them. 07000-917-917 is the number to call. This is Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart.
For wholesome music, heat up your day. Stay tuned to WFM 91.7. Is it a mistake? What's that? What happened? Chill, I just bought 1,000 Naira Glow data, and instead of the usual, I got 3.9 gigabytes. Guy, I swear, that's how I saw you too. I bought 2,000 Naira data yesterday, and I got a whopping 9.2 gigabytes. Wow! Glow data is just always bigger. Yep, and always better. I swear down. Babe, why are you moving your SIM?
I'm leaving this network and getting a Glow SIM immediately. And I'm not giving you my new number. You're on donation. Why didn't you tell me about this new Glow data plans?
Glow new data plans. Always bigger, always better. Babe, sorry now. Yes, get a Glow SIM card today and enjoy bigger, better data on the Glow network. Just dial *777# and choose your plan. And if you link your NIN to your Glow line, up to free 20,000 Naira bonus awaits you. Glow Unlimited.
It's a brand new day, I'm feeling stronger. I fit to do anything, I fit to do my work now. Yesterday was rough, but I don't regret, I don't regret. See me as a fresh, now that I see me so fresh. Let me say I still love you. So I'm for the people, yeah.
Repair and recover with Astimid, a blend of amino acids and multivitamins.
Don't repair, I don't recover, yeah.
At ShopRite, you find everything you need and more. Products like 12 bottles of Pepsi, Team or Marina 500 ml drinks at 1,599 Naira 99 kobo, and Climax 330 ml energy drink at 259 Naira 99 kobo. Prices valid till August 7th, 2022. ShopRite, low prices you can trust always.
Please listen to this special announcement. Due to the high cost of diesel, Women Radio 91.7 will be cutting down on our hours of operation. We would operate from 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mondays to Sundays. The Adult Conversations program will now hold from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. You are very important to us. Please do bear with us. This is temporary until cost of diesel stabilizes. We thank you for your understanding.
Here is a list of excuses that will no longer be accepted.
I beg, give me your hotspot. I want my data, but this one so much.
Please, could you put your Wi-Fi on? I'm out of data and the recharge card seller has closed.
Oh, I would have recharged though, but I can't find my wallet.
Please, I've got cramps and I can't get up. Can you share your hotspots?
Oh no! Don't know where my internet token is, and I need to quickly buy data. Please, could you share your hotspot till I find it?
Hey, Jumbo, I said buy data, but that recharge card seller will ever get changed. How good you?
Now there's really no excuse to ever be out of data with Glow Borrow Me Data. Dial *321# to borrow data now and pay later.
I beg, I just share your hotspot. This way bad. Make thunder no go fireman.
Largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
ẹ kú dédé wòyí ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nínú olúwa èmi ni olùṣọ́ àgùntàn Débọ̀ Adégòkè mo ní ìròyìn ayọ̀ fún ẹnìkan tó ń gbọ́ mi ètò bá mi ṣe ìpàdé àdúrà ní èdè Yorùbá láti ìjọ Zion Christian Ministries International Freedom Arena ní ìlú London yóò máa wáyé bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ sátidé láago 2 àárọ̀ lórí Women Radio lórúkọ Jésù ìwọlẹ̀ kan Jésù lolúwa.
Bàbá mi ṣe o.
Women are simply amazing. Great nurturers who spend most of their time, energy, and thought juggling life and family. Women are refreshing wells of courage and warmth. Up you, woman! Now is the time to find and identify your true self. Become the best you. Live your true purpose. Up You with Izine helps you begin the journey, empowers you with hope and inspiration. Tune into Up You with Izine Kufri Kanem every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Up You with Izine will help you stand up, speak up, shake up, soak up, skill up, and serve up. It's 4 p.m. every Saturday on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Up You with Izine, finding self, finding purpose. A time for change, to unmask the truth, to unmask the rot in our communities. Unmasking the truth will focus on the effects of corruption on women, prefer solution and demand for accountability. Unmasking the Truth will be on this radio station every first Monday by 5:30 p.m. And we ask you to join us to condemn corruption, to demand for accountability, and to work together for a better Nigeria. Unmasking the Truth is an initiative of St. Ives Communications in partnership with Voice of Women and supported by the MacArthur Foundation.
Minutes past 7 on Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Tonight, we're still profiling the story of Hilda, and my name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. If you're just tuning in, you're welcome. And Hilda's story goes thus. My name is Hilda. My husband and I have been married for 5 years with 2 daughters, and we are a happy family. My husband traveled out of the country for work all through last year and recently returned. Everything is fine, but I've noticed some changes in the way he looks at me, like I'm not enough anymore. He doesn't compliment me. He doesn't get aroused when we're alone. He used to touch me a lot, but doesn't anymore, and now makes snide remarks about my size, and I'm a size 12. I'm concerned that he cheated on me over there and is comparing me to these girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash. Advise me, please. So, Hilda needs your advice tonight. 07000 917 917 is the number to call to give her some good advice tonight. She's saying he traveled for work 1 year ago. He has returned. Everything is fine, or everything is fine on the surface. But when you look a little closer, you see that she has noticed some of those changes, like in the way he looks at her, like she's not enough. He doesn't even touch her anymore. He makes snide remarks about her size, and she's a size 12. Now, in all the parts of conversation that we've touched on tonight, we haven't really touched on what could be responsible for him making snide remarks about her size. So it's one thing to have, it's one thing to be consumed with the uncertainty of what's going on now that you're back in Nigeria, particularly with your work. You don't know what management has taken. You don't know what decision they've taken. You don't know if you're going back abroad. You don't know if you're going back with your family. You don't know if you're going back alone. You don't know if you're staying back in Nigeria, but particularly if you want to go back to the country that you went to. So for all these reasons, you're probably unsettled. You don't really know what's happening. But is that enough reason to make snide remarks about her size? So, I mean, what exactly does that tension have to do with her size? A lot of times people don't realize that when they say things about your size that, you don't they add, you don't they add. Look at you. Chomo. Chubby girl, Okpemo, Orobo, all of those funny names. And I don't know why people think that's fun. Maybe because I'm plus size as well. I feel like, that is just not right. But then again, some people are okay with it and they would not necessarily get upset when you say such things to them. But coming from a husband who has been away for a year, somebody you'd expect to be literally all over you, she's wondering like, okay, what's the deal now, young man? What is going on? Is it that you don't desire me anymore? Is it that you don't desire me because you already have someone else that is fulfilling your sexual needs in the UK? Is it now that you are comparing me now to somebody that you've been with when you were in the UK? That's why you're looking at me this way. So different things are probably going through Hilda's mind. But she says, I don't want my marriage to crash. I don't want my marriage to crash, and she's asking for advice. What are your thoughts tonight? Hello, good evening.
Good evening. This is Omichuku. I actually heard the whole story now. I'll be very brief. I've not spoken before.
All right, please. Go ahead.
One thing I want to ask, does Hilda have anything that she does in terms of either hobby or business? If she doesn't,
yes, she's a caterer. She has her own catering outfit, a successful catering outfit.
Oh, beautiful. Then she should put more energy in that. And then also, in terms of people, the husband making remarks about her size, she should see it differently. What do I mean? It's healthier if you lose weight, because from the health point of view, when you overweight, you naturally expose yourself to all manner of things, from heart attack to diabetes and the rest. So that's how she should see it, not because the husband makes the remark, for her own health, safety and well-being. So when she's old, she can enjoy the benefits of her labor rather than, being sickly in quotes and giving money to doctors. Yeah, so it's just the way you see it.
That sounds... Okay, please go ahead.
People don't tell me all the time, you don't drink beer, are you a small boy, this and that. I even laugh with them, but I still wouldn't drink beer. I would still drink my bottle of Coke or water. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it shows that she needs to develop personally in that area as well.
Okay, but here's my thing now.
Because I'm also big size as well.
Right. So here's my thing now. according to her, that's not included in the part I read, but that's in the full story. Before he traveled out of the country, she was a size 12. She didn't add weight or anything in that time. So he was fine with it before he traveled. So is it now that are you trying to say that he's now more health conscious, he's more in tune with the fitness aspect of his life, and he's probably trying to, communicate that to her on some level? Because if this was fine for you, if you were all over me when I was size 12 before you left the country, I'm still size 12. So what's the issue now?
Okay, for me, when I say that, I'm not even talking about the husband.
Yes, I understand what you're saying about her. I understand what you're saying about her. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, she shouldn't focus on him. I didn't even think about him.
That's not going to be so easy to do. If this was coming from any random person, maybe it would be understandable. But coming from her husband that she has missed, that she hasn't had contact with him in a really long time, and by contact, I mean physical contact, she would want that contact. But now she's not even feeling desired because he's, making all these remarks about her body and everything. So it goes back to, how can I even be the initiator? One person where I want to initiate with, don't they tell me, say, I think maybe you need to lose some weight. Oh, your tummy is jiggling a little bit. Is
it possible she considers, or you consider that she's a bit sensitive, unnecessarily so? For me personally, I'm a man, so I'm talking from my own point of view. It's not really necessary. But here's the thought. Men usually like logical conversations. Men usually like business proposals. So if she hasn't been talking about her business, others should pay a bit of time talking about the business, plans for expansion, how the business has been while it was away, successes she's had, new grounds she wants to break. Definitely, she'll get his attention.
Okay, would that get him in the bed? Would that get him more attracted to her?
Well, let's take it like this, one step at a time. Because men like those kind of conversations from their spouses.
Okay, well, I'll take it that you said that. All right, Obichukwu, thank you very much for calling again.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I did say before that he strikes me as a romantic. Now, I'm saying he strikes me as analytical and very logical romantic. And I don't know how those two things can exist together. But, well, thank you very much, Obichukwu. Thank you for calling. So he's basically advising Hilda not to take it too personally, the stuff that her husband is saying. Trust me, I'm a woman. I know it will hurt. Oh, girl, it will hurt. It will hurt. But he's saying, don't take it to heart. Maybe you should focus on your health. Maybe you should actually lose some weight. And of course, if you do it for him, you might not be fully into it. But if you do it for yourself, then you just might realize that maybe you actually did need it and maybe you feel much better. But again, not as easy as it sounds, believe me. And he's also saying, how about you talk more about your business? Your business has been doing well. You've been taking care of the family. He's been contributing, yes, but you've also been doing a really good job of holding the family down. So Obichukwu is saying, maybe you should talk about your business, plans for expansion, what you want to do better going forward. So maybe that would get his attention back to you. Maybe he'll look at you like, that's my boss chick. Well done. Well done. Amazing job so far. And before you know it, he compliments you. And before you know it, you hit the bed. You don't really know how that's going to go anyway. But he's saying, how about you do that as a step one first and see where that goes? Well, maybe when you do, hopefully it works out. But why would he be making snide remarks about her body though? Why would he be doing that? It's one thing to not compliment me. It's another thing to start demeaning me. It's another thing to start making me feel a certain type of way. And no, Obichukwu, it's not being sentimental. It's just being, I'm not sure what the right word is. Not being sensitive, rather. It's just being emotional. I think that's the only word that, and yes, in some contexts, it could mean the same thing. But when you really think about it, my husband has been away for 1 year, 1 full year. We haven't had anything to do with each other. And now he's back. And rather than throw himself at me or myself at him, and let's get rid of that first initial tension out the way, he's complaining about my body. Of course, I'm going to take that to heart. So it's perfectly understandable that she's in this state of mind. Okay, so we need to wrap up very soon. And I I want to take this call, but please let's keep the calls very brief now. Let's keep the calls very brief so that maybe we can speak to more people in this short time. All right. Well, this is still Adults Conversations on Women Radio 91.7.
The name says it all. Women Radio 91.7.
Are you searching for durable, guaranteed, elegant, affordable home products?
At Eleganza Industrial City Limited, we put you first.
From plastic chairs for adults and babies, party tables and school tables, disposable plates and cups, as well as reusable plastics, food warmers and cooling boxes, trash bins of various sizes, baby diapers, lady sanitary care products, luggage of various sizes, hair threads, and lots more. Eleganza Industrial City Limited has got you covered with our elegantly designed products in unique shapes and sizes. Visit us at Kilometer 68 Lekki Ekpe Expressway after Eleko Junction, Ibeju Lekki, Lagos. Or you can call 081 801 99999 or 090 914 73665. Or you can send us an email at eleganzaindustrialcity@yahoo.com or info@eleganzagroups.com or sales@eleganzagroups.com. You can visit our website www.eleganzagroups.com. Eleganza Industrial City Limited. The name is our guarantee.
My better people better don't land. Life Medicare HMO now one of that Ogbonge health maintenance organization where our government stamp gidigba for health insurance matter. My country people, why you go sick before you cover yourself? What if money no dey when you fall sick? Life Medicare HMO get better health plan and benefit for organized private sector, schools, communities, and even private individuals and families. Life's premium for all their plans dey pocket friendly. Na shikini money. Life's hospital network na all over Naija. They fit help you arrange treatment for Obodo Oyinbo. Their head office na number 2 Osho Street, Okpebi Link Bridge, off Okpebi Road, Ikeja, Lagos. For more information, call 080-93-555-863 or 080-3263-9058. I say health protection in your colors.
Now, wow, you just can't stop stroking your baby's body. My dear, can't you see my baby skin? You never had nappy and heat rashes, but ever since I discovered Baby Tributan, his skin has become as smooth as velvet. No more nappy or heat rash. Really? I remember. Tell me more about this Baby Tributan. Baby Tributan is formulated for baby's tender skin to provide effective action against nappy and heat rashes. Use Baby Tributan today and discover the secret of velvety baby skin.
Tributan, a product of Fixin Healthcare PLC, contains clotrimazole and Eastamol. Always read product leaflet.
At ShopRite, you find everything you need and more. Products like 12 bottles of Pepsi, Team or Marina 500 ml drinks at 1,599 naira 99 kobo, and Climax 330 ml energy drink at 259 naira 99 kobo. Prices valid till August 7th, 2022. ShopRite, low prices you can trust always.
Lunch Vibes, every music note counts, aligning with lyrics and rhythm. Words soothing to the ears, voices and melodies with the best vibes ever. That is Lunch Vibes on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
Whatever you call it, be it apropos, yego, gist, or gossip, that means we've got you covered 100%. Join me NY and Snow every Friday at 7:15 p.m. for the best of entertainment gist only on Block Flip.
Nwanyị ndị Igbo, anyị bụ ụmụ nwanyị ala Igbo. Anyị na-agba mbọ na-arụsi ọrụ ike. Nwanyị ndị Igbo, anyị na-akpa ike n'ihe gbasara ndọrọ ndọrọ ọchịchị Naịjirịa. Nwanyị ndị Igbo na redio ụmụ nwanyị bụ ebe anyị na-akarịta ụka gbasara omenala Igbo na otu o si metụta anyị na metụta ụmụaka anyị nwanyị na nwoke, di anyị, ụmụ agbọghọ na ụmụ okorobịa. Gee Nwanyị ndị Igbo ụbọchị Satọdee ọbụla site na elekere 1:30 n'ehihie na redio ụmụ nwanyị 91.7. Afa m bụ Bekee. Bịa sonyere m Satọdee ọbụla site na 1:30 Party na nwaanyị ndị Igbo na-eme na Women Radio ụmụ nwaanyị 91.7.
"15 minutes to 8 on Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. It's been an amazing conversation so far, and our time is almost gone. But in the meantime, this is the story that we're profiling tonight. We're profiling the story of Hilda. Hilda is basically saying that her husband has been away abroad for work for the past 1 year. And now he's back, but he's not being the husband that she remembers. He's being different and he doesn't compliment her as much anymore. She says she's noticed some changes in the way that he looks at her, like there's something off, like she's not enough anymore. He doesn't compliment her. He does not get aroused when they're alone. So she says he used to touch me a lot, but he doesn't anymore, and now makes snide remarks about my size. And she's a size 12. So I'm wondering, what are you saying? Then she goes on to say, I'm concerned that he cheated on me over there and is comparing me to the girls in the UK. I don't want my marriage to crash. I need advice. So going on Facebook, this is a message from Chris Aenobong. Chris says, please give him good food and ask for his score. Take it up from there. Who knows, he may let the cat out of the bag. Some may even have a child abroad. May God restore his love to you. Interesting. Austin Patrick is saying, a lot of men will tell you not to worry till they have to share the affection of their wife with another man and also begin to panic if their kids are theirs or not. Let me tell you, they will tell you to do what they can never do in this life or take from any woman. There's a huge possibility your husband might have cheated on you. If he has been complaining about your size, the way he left you, then Uncle has gone about to do God knows what. You should sit him down and have a proper conversation. I put it to you that if the tables were flipped and you're the ones with you are the one with the complaints about his body and whatnot, people will tell your husband that you must have been sleeping around while you were away. A man who is straight may not be able to be held down by whatever anyone tells you to do. So whether you shrink in size, whether you wear any sexy outfits, if his mind is not on you, he will always complain and compare you to the rest. It wasn't this way before and suddenly came back and began looking at you in a weird manner. Listen, very soon, you would have to deal with self-esteem issues because it will only get worse. Interesting. Nicholas Isaac Soporichi is saying, have you also thought of the man having some urological issues that he may need medical attention for? Any infection, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of these affects men's libidos, but they'll never tell you out of large egos. Find out the cause of loss of sexual urge, and you can tackle it. That's another point. Maybe there's a medically inclined issue here that we're not seeing. But if he wouldn't even talk about it, how will we figure it out? So maybe, Hilda, that might be something you need to take into consideration as well. Adibe Chidindu says, your size isn't the problem, but how you carry it. How you dress when you're with him, even at home. Try and find out how the UK girls are and be like that for him. Look, as he wasn't with you last year, you have changed a lot of things in the name of it's only me and the children. And I know you won't call it anything, but even as he's with you now, it matters. So get on the spotlight for him and use your dressing and movement of your body, neatness, your sweet smelling, smiling, and some sexy voice and grab your man back. Not the tear up and down and be waiting for him to grab you from the back. Adibe said no. Okay, well, interested YouTube at WFM 917. Yes, medical point of view, very important. It's also possible that he's cheated. It's also possible. It's also possible that he thinks you've cheated. That's also possible. And Chidindu is saying, maybe it's not the size. Maybe it's the way you carry it. Maybe you've let yourself go because it's been you and the children for too long. So now that he's back, he doesn't feel the way he used to feel, the way he used to dress, the way he used to make him look the way he used to look that made him attracted to you. So maybe you've let a bit of that go and you might need to work on that. All right, so I want to one more call. I'd like to take one more call before I go. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Could you turn down the volume of your radio, please?
Hello?
Good evening.
Yeah, Lady B calling.
Lady B, thank you very much for calling. I didn't think you were going to call anymore, rather.
Why?
Because of the time. I figured, it's a little bit late now, so maybe I won't hear from you today.
Okay. I'm still on the way.
I'm so sorry about that. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead. We're rounding up soon.
Yeah. Most men, when they have so much in mind to tell you, and they are looking for the right moment to say, they say things to, make you feel as if to just push you away from them till they get the right moment to say it. So I don't want, most people have said a whole lot. So I think she should just work on her own self more.
Okay.
And she should be patient. The honeymoon has gone. She has just setting into the reality. So she should take things easy and be patient with herself and work on her own self and let the man have some space so that when the right time comes, the man will come back to her. Not that she should allow the man to, but she should just, two of them have been. That's what a long distance relationship does most times to most people that don't have good foundations before marriage. So when the distances come between, the real self comes out and then one person could change and all that, it happens. So she should just accept the reality and work on herself, focus on herself more, take good care of herself. The marriage will not collapse if she knows she did not do anything to wrong the man. And she's on her right, good conscience, fear, no accusation. So she has nothing to worry about. She just let the man be for some time. The man definitely come out. Even if the man went there to cheat, she should know that whatever that is her own will always be her own. She shouldn't let that one come into her mind. She should make sure that she is a good wife. She should not look at what the man is doing. She should just work on herself, take good care of herself. She should go and do small shopping, buy some good things for herself, and concentrate on herself more. Focus on whatever thing she's doing. It is well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lady B. Thank you for calling. All right. And then Lady B is saying that regardless of what it is that happened in the UK, he's back now, and chances are that his mind is still boggled with so many things going on, and he's trying to find the right time to tell you some of these things, if not all. And then because he's trying to find the right time, he might be doing the thing that a lot of men do in that space of time. He might be pushing you away just to figure out when is right for him to really tell you what it is that he wants to say. So she's saying be patient with him, relax a bit, take more care of yourself, focus on yourself, and then he'll come around at the right time. He'll come around at the right time. And then whatever happened in the UK, she's saying leave it in the UK. Even if he cheated when he was there, well, forget about that and just take it in stride and move on. Remember that if he's your husband, he's your husband and he's not going anywhere. So understand that that's the case. Well, Lady B, thank you very much. And that's our final caller tonight. Thank you so much for all your contributions. Thank you very much. For those who did not get a chance to call in, maybe due to network, any situation, well, I'm sure that there'll be another time to do that. So thank you very much so far. As regards Hilda's story, too many schools of thought have passed tonight, even though we didn't have as many calls as we used to. There were a lot of valid points that were made, and I believe that Hilda has been able to take some of these points and roll with them. So at the end of the day, it goes back to what she wants to do. So Hilda, I hope something good comes out of all this advice that you've received tonight. I'm sure you'll be able to take an informed decision. And on behalf of Hilda, I thank you again tonight. I hope you join me next week, same time, same station, on adult conversations. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much to my engineers on duty. My name is Sumto Titulayo Ajama. Good night.